I just wanted to briefly start by saying that I'm completely struck by what I've seen so far, and I'm really looking forward to talking to Anna Viebrock today about this, what it is we're talking about, which I guess is theater, but you might equally say that it is art, pure and simple, or beauty, or fantastic things to choose to show other people in general. And we thought it would be nice to start off by sharing a little bit of this beauty. So we've asked Anna to show a little bit of her work. So without much further ado, we'll go into doing that.
Yeah, thank you. And I think it's great you came, although it's such nice weather. And I'm happy to be invited. And it's nice you say beauty, because normally people say, oh, I saw something very ugly, I had to think of you. So I know more the case that people are sort of astonished that things which I think that with, of course, together with Christoph Marthaler, because we had the same ideas or what we like also to be on stage, and it's not about beautiful things very often, but it's about the very everyday things, or everyday, even strange things, ugly things, things which are not working, people who are normally not representative for the stage, and also have, like, for example, Casimir and Caroline, we had, of course, toilets, because if you drink so much beer, the toilets are very important. And these are things which were perhaps a little bit, it seems we started with this, or restarted, of course, it has been existing before. And so I have made a little show you of some pictures of a few productions I did, and I mostly start with the same thing, because I think I started in the end of the 1970s, so, and I have the feeling the 80s was a little bit my training years, and then I went from 88 to 93, I was in Basel at the theater, and there I met Christoph Marthaler, and I have the feeling sort of then started my real life. And I think from this moment on I started really taking much more things not from books, and not studying book, which is of course important when you learn the job. It's very important to know the tradition of theater and all that, but then we found our special style to really see the rich reality, rich, I think, and ambiguous, concrete reality around us. And so it was for me a very moving moment when we came first. I lived then in Basel to East Berlin, and saw the after the opening of the wall, and we did this piece which quite a few people know, because it was played 170 times or 11 years or whatever. It was quite a cult thing, and it was very much about the opening of the wall and meeting the people from the East, and that's quite a nice thing to show. That I just show you all the time also, which inspired me, because I think I'm not ashamed to be inspired by things and show it to people. I think it's the best. Reality is so rich, you cannot invent all these things. And these are just 2 or 3 pictures of East Berlin, the way it looked like then. And it was, of course, it was not only coming to know the socialistic East, but also seeing even back in time, because in Germany everything is renewed all the time, and I'm very much interested in history and the feeling of the time not being. I think the past is also inherent all the time. So this is, for me, the time anyhow is a theme which is very important. And so and this is funny, because this is also on this book. We came from Basel, and we saw this Tempelhof airport, which also it's closed now. And then I like this word when it says, damit die Zeit nicht stehen bleibt. So I used this in the set, and because it seems, if it's beside the clock, that means so that time does not stand still, which will not happen anyhow. So and the clock was not working. So I thought this was a very treffend thing for the situation. And here you see it a little bit closer. And so then I was also inspired by this is underneath the Volksbühne, which the theaters itself, the rooms and the atmosphere of the theaters and the auditorium is also very important for me. And so this is the cellar, and you see Christoph Marthaler there, and then you see the ovens which are partly demolished because they took them out. It was all brown coal and it was very hot in the theater, and here you see it also. And I took these on stage, so of course it was too heavy, so I could just take parts which are already removed. And here you see the scenery. So that's another thing I was doing. I went to Busseto, which is the place where Verdi lived, and there's a little theater there, an opera house, but I made this photo, and it was of the foyer of the opera house, which was closed. It was going to be renovated, and I was slipped in. It was not allowed, and it was really like a fairy place because it was so interesting to see behind the mirror. And this is also a long story. I'm interested in when I was studying, we did a project on Alice Behind the Mirrors, the second part of Alice in Wonderland. And it's like, from there comes the idea, which is a very childlike idea perhaps, but I think still it exists in everybody's head, that you can go behind the mirror. And I was making photographs from all sides to finding out although it was just what was behind me, it was like looking into another world. So I later, without planning anything with that, and later I had the challenge to do the Alcina in Oper Stuttgart. It's a Handel opera, and this is about a goddess who is a love goddess who has great magic powers, but she's losing them now. And so I thought the thing of the narcissism of the mirror and all that reminded me, and so I really took this for the set. So I really copied the mirror completely, and also, of course, I liked also the contrast with the styrofoam, or how you say, on the ground. And you see also it's standing on the ground, this mirror, and you see the part where the wallpaper was sort of hidden behind the mirror before, and it was still fresh, and it was a little bit like a labyrinth. And here was one idea was the mirror, because of getting older, losing the powers and all that, and I tried in the back to use the back scenery as in a way of film movements. Here you see it's very dark. You can see a little bit. It was like a Baroque opera. It was also, of course, like a photo, like a marriage portrait. And then it was really like a shock, even if everybody knows it's no mirror, when the man steps through the mirror, and then he shots Alcina, you see just one leg of her. She's in the left side, and then it was sort of, in the end, it was without any magic. It was very ugly light was built in the ceiling, which made it lose all its charm.